9, which is adding a whole new section. And the whole purpose of the section is just reasons why someone is not allowed to be permitted to speak at committee or council. But particularly letter F, I had a problem with, and 2 reasons. One is that it presupposes, I guess, bad behavior. It says, I'll just read it here, it says that a person requesting to be a delegate is likely to engage in unreasonable or offensive behavior. And I just have a concern with, like, how do we know what is likely? Do we have a crystal ball? Like, how do we determine reasonability? This one in particularly seems like a reason just to shut people down, which is why I like this removed. And I think it was really encapsulated by the last line where it talks about misusing the privilege of speaking to committee or council. And I kind of see that in reverse. I don't see people coming to speak at council that it's their privilege. I think it's their right to speak. We're privileged as council to listen to our delegates and our...
You actually can see is the way a person acts and behaves, you can pretty well tell if it's, especially if they're a known entity, that, you know what, if we go down this road, and I would suspect it would be those who are known to the council or to the CAO or the clerk or legal.
It's great work, and it's not about preventing people from speaking, but it's about just creating, I think, reasonable parameters.
The councillor hasn't been paying attention to the harassment and abuse to which some of us have been subjected over the past few years, and the councillor certainly hasn't been on the receiving end of all of the emails that we've received for the past few years. That's how something like this comes about. And
I don't support taking this out. We've hammered away at this at our procedural committee, and in fact, I think it's a good piece of the puzzle.
But again, putting power in the hands of a few to decide the outcome of a delegate, I can't support that. And
they can always be added if it's important. So they have all the freedom in the world.
Clerk, so I'm happy to hear that there is an opportunity, I guess, for someone who feels that they haven't had that opportunity to speak, that they can sort of appeal their case. And again, I think Councillor Britton raises an interesting issue with this section. It certainly
Would agree. The word privilege, I'm not comfortable with that language either. And I also to realize that there are people out in our community that through their past actions, comments, and whatever, have, in my opinion, lost the right to address us, lost the right for us to trust them to be decent human beings when they do address us. And this is a rule that allows us to stop them.
If somebody wants to get up at that podium and act like not a very nice human being, there's other ways to deal with them rather than having kind of a blanket thing that says, you know, your past comments may prevent you from addressing this council.
Coming to a council and not adhering to what we're really asking is please provide us with the background on the information you wish to speak to. But if people want to tell us what they think, how about it? As long as it's not completely beyond the rules, which the chair.
You know, we shouldn't make judgment on people. I think people have the right to speak, but as Councillor Redekop stated, maybe if they get out of order in a meeting, which it has happened in the past, and it has happened while I was chair as well, you take order. So,
you know, the portal to access us seems to be slipping away or getting narrower, and so I'm opposed to anything that would do that. I think that they have should have and always have access to this, or we cease to be a democracy. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. If the person who pitched a brick through my colleague's window because they didn't like the things she said showed up at this council and wanted to speak, and we knew that that was the person who did it, I would hope that it would be unanimous in saying, no, that person shouldn't be allowed to speak. I'll leave it at that, Chair.
So I think that this needs to be referred back to committee, and I'll like to make that.
Accept that. I fundamentally believe that every person has the right to come here and speak. I believe that. But I also know that people have, many people in the last 8 years have really behaved in a manner that was unacceptable. And there
Mr. Chair, one simple statement. I believe that any time a group of elected officials think that it's a privilege for the residents to address them, I believe we are headed way too far in the wrong direction.
It's tied.
It's not tied.
it is time, Chair.
It is?
It is a time.
I'll stay with the committee recommendation, say no.
The amendment is defeated.